Brilliant.
To Hearing Things with Julie and Brad. I'm pulling it together. We're so happy to have you with us today. Today we're talking about the stress that comes with being hard of hearing and waiting for your name to be called. I'm going to kick this one off. It brought me back to being in elementary school when they would take attendance. Right? Or any school setting, any group setting where attendance being taken.
God, about that.
But what really brings me back and caused me the most stress in elementary school is when we would go around the room and people would take turns reading out loud.
Oh, I hate that.
Like during social studies. Because there's no anchor for me to hang on when you're doing a random call out. So I would sit there and be so in tuned, trying to hear the words that were being read, following along so carefully in the text, hoping that if my name is called, I hear it, and I know where we are in the book at the same time. That was probably the most stressful situation I could think of from school growing up. At least when they were taking attendance, I would know who came before me or who came like two ahead of me. So I knew, like, you know, who would be ahead of DiMatteo, Dante or something. I knew, like, okay, when the DA is like maybe the DE is coming, and I would kind of have something to anchor myself to.
Yeah.
But those situations when it's a random call out like that, oh, no thank you. And it happens as adults, right? Like the DMV. If you don't take a ticket, or they're calling your number for a ticket.
Yep.
And there's no visual backup. Hopefully it's better now. I haven't been to the DMV in a while because they do it online. But, you know, waiting rooms, doctors' waiting rooms. Oh, God, the worst when you're at, like, a bar function or something, or a party, and there's a raffle, and they're going to call the ticket number. Talk about stress. I have to give it to everybody that can hear, who probably have in the bag, and I'm just like, oh my God, because you don't want to be the person that misses, like, you know, the Bruins ticket prize or something, because you heard a 3 instead of a 2.
Right. It's brutal.
Brutal. Take it away, Brad.
I'm having like flashbacks. So like when we talked about this topic, I'm like, yeah, waiting for your name to be called. My one contribution to this episode is like, I don't go to Starbucks because they call your name.
Oh, the worst.
I don't go. And so like now, I have the Dunkin's app. So now I order ahead, and I don't talk to anybody. It's fantastic. I just order ahead and pick it up from the mobile pickup. But when you started talking about waiting for your turn, I'm like having palpitations. I am. So because I remember, because this followed me all the way through my undergrad degree, because I was an English major. And so in college,
I didn't think of that.
We would go through, because we would read like Shakespeare or something. And so they would say, like, you would go, and luckily Shakespeare was a little easier because you were usually like assigned a part. Right. So you knew where you could follow. You kind of follow along, but I would always have problems not hearing when Mercutio was talking or something like that. But like going around the room reading, oh my God, same thing. I would be straining so hard to hear my name. I would have no clue where we were in the story. It's so bad. I like now that so much is on the phone, right? So like if restaurants or whatever, they usually just give you an app or something, or like if you're waiting for like a restaurant, you get those pagers now. That's so much better. But like, and it doesn't even matter if we self-identify in these cases, because in the moment they're gonna forget, and they're in like, there's nothing. I've actually gone to like a Starbucks and like, I didn't even know what the person said, but I thought it was my name, and it was not. And you get death glare. I go.
But you walk out with like a frozen.
No, I grabbed it. And so I went to grab it, and somebody else said. They said what I don't even remember at this point. They said theirs, and like I just didn't. But like I drink my coffee black, pour it in a cup, and give it to me.
Yeah, that's true. It should be a whole long involved process.
It shouldn't. So yeah. Anyway, so this is one of the few times where it doesn't matter if you self-identify, because you're just one of many people in this situation. Many people are waiting.
And it's such a transactional relationship. Or interaction. It's so quick that it's not registering.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess like self-identify is definitely a tip. Do that always. Hang out by the counter if you're ordering something. Talk to the hostess if it's a restaurant. But I don't know what raffle you're going for the Bruins, but I want to be part of that.
Yeah, it's tough. As an educator, when my students and I are in a small group, if we're going to be reading or taking turns reading, I set it up for them right before we do anything.
Oh, great.
I say, listen, here's how this is going to go. You're going to go first, and you're going to read until this part. Then you're going to go next, and you're going to read to here. And then you, and then you, and then come back to me. Like, I give them as much upfront information as I can. I cue them. I go, okay, awesome job, Teddy. Anna, you're up next.
Yeah.
Right here we are. Let's go. Just to take that stress out. Because it just brought me back to 5th grade social studies when I thought about this topic.
My palms are sweaty thinking about that.
Oh, my God.
It's brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Oh, man. That was a tough one.
It's good information, right? Like you said,
Yeah.
you just use your strategies the best you can. Have someone with you with typical hearing that can help you out. Unless they're my friends and family are probably halfway through half a case of Bud Light by the time they're calling the raffle numbers, but do what you can.
I usually if I have to give a name, if we're waiting, like if I'm out to eat with like my brother or something, I'll give his name.
Yep.
So you can hear it.
Don't give mine because it's not going to work out for either one of us. So that's it for tonight.
Yes.
For that episode, it's kind of a quick thing, but I think it's good to kind of hit on some of the routine situations we find ourselves in that people don't necessarily think about.
Right.
I mean, our world, literally every minute of our life is tricky sometimes. We're never in a position where we can just relax into a situation and just go about a typical routine.
No, because there's so many unknowns. You don't know what challenge you're going to run into,
right?
And you don't know what you're going to not hear. I mean, it's a hearing. I don't know about you, Julie, but my hearing ebbs and flows during the day. If I'm tired, I don't hear as well. So background noise. It's not consistent. I mean, like thankfully, my hearing has been fairly consistent for years. And the last time you had it, it was just consistent, right?
We're running out of paper.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we're consistently at the bottom of the page. We haven't gone off the page, but we're consistently at the bottom of the page. So I'm going to take that as a win for
There you go. Take away small victories. Anyway, so let's move on to books.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah, you want to go first? Yeah, go.
Loved this book when I read it. It's called Jackie and Maria. It's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Jackie, we'll put it in the little linky thing.
Yeah, I'll put the link.
I think you pronounce her name Gill, Gill, last name Paul. It's awesome. It's historical fiction.
Okay.
And it's about Jackie Kennedy Onassis, and Maria Callas, famous opera singer. And they were both in love with Aristotle Onassis. So it's about this love triangle that's going on. The book is phenomenal, and it's based on a true story. So I went deep dive, crazy person, into everything I could find on the internet, going nuts, learning all these backstories. And then I saw Aristotle Onassis. I don't care how much money that man has. I don't get what they were fighting over, those two, but it's just no bueno. Maria was there first. Jackie swooped in. She was fabulous.
She was the other man.
Oh yeah. It was a whole thing. And he was a dog, but I don't know what it was about him that got them all riled up. But anyway, excellent book, easy read, fun, and got that historical aspect. You can kind of deep dive research into it. Totally different research than what Brad does for fun, but for me, I enjoyed it to no end.
So it's
my recommendation.
They obviously have to take creative liberties with
some creative liberties, but the story and the research I did lines up pretty good.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes I get annoyed with that kind of stuff. Is it's a historical fiction and they change someone's character for the sake of the story.
No, the whole frame of it is there. So probably liberties with conversation and situations, the private moments, because you really can't know that. I don't know. I think. I guess. However, whatever her access was or what research she did, if she had journals and stuff, maybe she was able to pull from first-hand accounts of personal narratives, but. Really fun read. Loved it.
That's good.
Don't get the attraction with Aristotle, but okay.
I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to do Neuromancer by William Gibson. So it's a science fiction book, and it is about virtual reality, and it actually, there is something called The Matrix that people log into. And so this was published in 1984.
Oh, wow. So that's before The Matrix that I think of when I hear The Matrix.
Yep. So a very similar concept, a lot different. There's more of the cyberpunk kind of feel to it. I think there's tech samurais and stuff in it. It's a fun read if you like science fiction. William Gibson is a really big writer in that genre, and Neuromancer is probably my favorite book by him. So it's fun.
Oh, cool! Something different. I wouldn't have thought to pick that up. That sounds interesting. Yeah. I'm sure you weren't thinking about
not at all
a big love triangle between Jackie and
I'm good.
But hey, something for everybody, right?
That's right.
Well, that's it. It's a quick one, but just another little tidbit. And look into what our lives are like as people with hearing loss navigating a world not designed for us.
Thanks, everybody.
That's it. Bye.